Welcome. Hello, everyone. My name is Chris Principe. I'm the publisher of Financial IT. And I'm so thrilled to be here today with you at the SWIFT event called Sibos. Sibos is an important event every year. It's in a different place in the world. And it's amazing for me because we are in Beijing, China. It's the capital of China. First time SWIFT has brought Sibos to China, and it's an amazing event. It will be tremendous. And I'm very excited and really excited because I have one of the key people from SWIFT here with me. Hi, Sharon. How are you?
Hi, Chris. I'm very well, thank you.
Good.
Great
Sharon,
to be here.
please let everyone know a little bit about yourself and about what SWIFT is here today doing.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Sharon Toh. I'm the head of ASEAN Region for SWIFT from Singapore. And really glad to be here in Beijing as well with all the participants. It's been a great turnout, and I'm sure if any one of you who doesn't know Sibos, Sibos to me it's an event where we bring together great minds from the financial services industry to come and discuss, collaborate on key initiatives, key trends that we're seeing everywhere. And this year's theme is connecting the future of finance. And we're all very excited what that future is going to look like. And it's great that we're seeing a great turnout here as well. So for those of you who has not actually joined us, please do join us in the next few days, and we'll be happy to be here to be with you to discuss and see, to collaborate.
Well, great. Sharon, very interesting what you said about connecting the future. And what are some of the initiatives that SWIFT is laying out for the financial institutions of the world?
Yeah. Well, the thing is that, as you may know, we're all driving towards, or the industry is all driving towards instant, seamless cross-border payments. And SWIFT, we have been working on that for quite some time right now, working with the industry. With some of these key innovations and collaborations, such as SWIFT Global Payment Innovation (GPI). And we have this particular initiative has been around since 2017, and we have really obtained great adoption, great success. And today, we've just announced, we've just come up with a publication on the speed of the payments. So 90% of our cross-border payments actually reached the end beneficiary accounts within a year. I would say end beneficiary bank within an hour. That's a year. Within an hour. And so the thing is, it's great result. And if you look at the G20 targets, we are actually ahead of the G20 targets. And the G20 targets is 75% within an hour. And we are already at 90%.
Well, SWIFT has always been the leader. It's been the glue that holds all the banks together, and payments is the critical part about that. And there's so much talk in the industry right now about instant payments. Quite a challenge for SWIFT and for the banks.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I think instant payment is where a lot of the countries are moving towards. And I think it's important, especially for end consumer like you and I. But I'm sure it's also important for a lot of the SMEs, the small, medium-sized enterprises. And that's something that we've been working towards with GPI. And building on the success of GPI now, we have also rolled out services that will benefit low-value the end consumers, retail consumers, and SMEs for low-value payments as well. But I think importantly, what we're seeing is that, in a payment transaction, there's a lot of frictions as well. Yeah. So we're looking at how do we reduce those frictions and reduce the payment rejections, just so that money can move into the accounts much more quicker by reducing those frictions as much as possible. So pre-validation is one of the things that we've been working with the industry as well. But I think the other aspect is, as you may know, a lot of we're moving the whole industry globally towards ISO 20022, and ISO 20022 is the data standards that we are getting all the global community to adopt. And this will really enable seamless payments, will also improve compliance processes, and ensuring that there is structured information, richer information that will enable banks to do more. Because we know that data is power, data is important, and there will be more things that the banks could build on or develop to benefit their customers, to bring better experience to their end users and customers.
Well, you know, Sharon, what I found really interesting that you said there, because that's a lot of challenges that SWIFT is working hard on, is I think people always think about SWIFT and first thing you think about are the big banks, right? But what you talked about was SWIFT being more involved. I loved hearing about the SMEs because it's an important area, and even down to individual payments like you and me, right? And who doesn't want to get paid a little faster, right? Of course.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you're a company, a bank, or a person.
Yeah.
So these initiatives are really interesting. But I would see that a challenge on that would be the interoperability of trying to put all this together.
Yeah. Well, interoperability is key, right? When you look at payments and trade, it's global in nature. And we're seeing, you know, a proliferation of diverse systems and networks, right? And I don't think this is going to go away, but we're going to see a lot of coexistence of the new and the current. So that's why interoperability is absolutely crucial to ensure that we're able to interoperate, to address fragmentation that we're seeing in the industry. And really looking at how do we interoperate all these different systems, and just so that everything could be exchanged, information can be exchanged in a much more seamless manner. And ultimately, as a result, it will benefit businesses and also end users like you and I.
Well, that's great. I mean, this interoperability is, you know, it's an interesting topic because we have been talking about for years and years globalization. But it's so difficult because we're really looking at regionalization, right? Each of the areas, even down to some of the countries, even inside some of the countries, different systems and everything, and so much to try to put together. So
Yeah.
working on this challenge, I think is going to have great benefits, and it's good to hear. Can you give us something a little bit more specifically on the kind of SWIFT products that are really attacking this area?
Yeah, so if you look at SWIFT, 50 years, you know, we're 51 years old this
51,
year.
right?
We were set out 50 years ago to interoperate the global community. And 50 years on and forward, and more than ever, when we see this proliferation of different systems and network and fragmentation that we're seeing, more than ever, we see our role really, our role is to bridge, you know, the world, right? And if I looked at some of the work that we've been doing, especially around, you know, in the last couple of years, we've been working on this sandbox in terms of looking at how do we, where we have about, where we collaborated with central banks and commercial banks to basically test, you know, how do we interconnect or how do we link different CBDC networks together, and also how do we then interconnect or interoperate CBDC network with the existing payments network. So I would say the test is really successful, and we actually have a connector that's there, and I would say last week we have also announced that in January 2025 we will you know, allow banks, central banks, to do pilot testing, leveraging on the platform, on SWIFT platform, to actually transact with each other over any kind of network, especially on CBDC network with the existing payments network. So this is really exciting news. So we're basically trying to move experimentation to reality now.
Well, you know, it's interesting, and I'm really pleased to hear that this is it's progressed so to the point where now you can start allowing the banks to be involved in, because there's so many considerations. I mean, you know, the data is important, security of that data, you know, fraud prevention, and then to making sure that everything moves correctly. SWIFT has always had this huge job, and I think maybe a lot of people don't really know and understand what SWIFT does and how it affects their lives, because really, you affect everyone's life, right?
Yeah.
So going forward now, with this initiative, you know, we'll start to see some real interesting improvements. What I really wanted to ask you about is the thing that we're hearing from everybody. What is SWIFT's view of, and how will you look to address the growing new technology of AI?
Yeah, so if we look at AI and if I look at all the technological advancement that we're seeing now, and it really looks at improving all the technological advancement, I would say, is trying to improve the way we do things. And it's the same for Swift. We look at some of this technology and making sure that, first we have to identify, like AI, we have to identify the right use cases. I always find that it's great to have technology, but it's also important to make sure that we have the right use cases for it. We have to identify the problems that we need to solve for. Because, and also from a Swift perspective, is looking at that technology and say, we need to solve for this problem, and what will be the impact that it will bring, and how would that benefit our global financial community. And a lot of consideration will, for us, a lot of consideration will be put into it to ensure that we continue, as we innovate, we continue to uphold the ethos of security and responsible innovation. So, like for example, with AI, we have worked with the financial community on using AI to actually look at fraud, because fraud is a global problem, right? It's not one country, but globally, this is on the mind of every central banks or every country or every client that I've spoken to. So this is something that we have collaborated with the industry, and to come January 2025, we will be launching an AI augmented fraud detection tool. This is really the fraud detection tool that we have. We always have that, but we have now augmented it with AI, and we're going to launch it in from January 2025. This is after a lot of experiments and testing by the industry. So it's really super exciting for all of us and for a lot of our customers as well. And this really looked at how can we use data and to try and detect certain anomaly activity so that it can trigger an alert to our customers as well, whoever that's using our services, our fraud detection tool. Then this, on top of that, we also have a industry group that has been set up to look at federated data and machine learning and using privacy sort of control technologies. So there's a lot of stuff that we are doing, a lot of things that we're doing right now when it comes to anomaly detection, and they'll be multi-phased. So it'll be a journey with our industry.
But I tell you, you look at 2024 and what Swift has been able to do, but what you now have me so excited about is 2025. It just seems that Swift is really in its own careful approach, really going to be at the cutting edge in a lot of things. Out of all these things, what excites you the most?
In fact, I think everything that we're doing, like interoperating the world, interoperating the systems. The interoperability is key. And also being able to tap on technologies like AI and using that technology to solve problems for our customers. To me, I'm truly excited to see all of that, because Swift is a messaging layer, right? And I think everybody know us as the messaging platform, but we are a critical infrastructure. And if you look at every 2 to 3 days, the value of the world GDP goes over our network. So it's critical. It's a critical platform that has been around for the last 50 years. And I think I feel very proud to be part of Swift, because when I look at how they achieved they focus and achieved on operational efficiencies, the security, the resiliency, and ensuring that our network is highly available. That infrastructure is so important it really underpins everything that we're trying to do, right? And especially when you're future-proofing and also going into the future. So, it's great to see all the work that we're doing right now from an innovation side of things. And we know that we have and our industry and our members actually want us to do that as a cooperative, yes.
Well, I think that people don't maybe realize the dependency that the world's financial structure has on Swift. You guys are the foundation really of everything. and how you move. Yes, I think there's some people that will say that, well, you're not moving fast enough, but SWIFT has been, if I think in my own mind, when I come to SWIFT, it's reliability, it's stability, it's safety. And for 50 years, I mean, how many other infrastructures, organizations that can say that for 50 years? So quite a credit, but that's the past. What I want to hear now is 2025 is going to be an exciting year, and the initiatives are really interesting. But what do you think is going to happen in this area going forward, the year after that? What's your personal feeling of where technology will go?
I think the technology will continue to evolve, in my view. Today could be AI, tomorrow could be something else. And everybody is already talking about quantum, so there will be a lot of sessions at Sibos on quantum. Right. For me, I feel that we just need to keep an open mind on what are all the possibilities that's there, and embrace whatever technology that's going to come our way, and take a good look at them and see how is this going to help the industry. How is that going to solve industry problems and challenges? I don't have a crystal ball, but I think the important thing for me has always been just keep an open mind and see what are all the possibilities that's out there.
Well, yeah. Sharon, I like that very much, and keeping an open mind, I think, is something everybody should remember. And I want to thank you so much for today, because you've opened up all of our minds to so many important things about SWIFT. Thank you very much for spending some time with us today.
Thank you, Chris. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Thanks. Chris Principe, Financial IT.